Okay. First of all, okay, you said the conversation that I had with Kevin, uh, the one we did
Yeah.
on Monday, the analyzing, we were analyzing our conversation we had previously. I saw
Okay.
you made a comment saying
Mm-hmm.
this scenario was totally different from what I asked Kevin in the previous video, something like this. You remember saying this?
I said the one where I said false equivalence.
Yes, you were talking. Okay, false equivalence. Okay, what did you mean by that?
Yeah. So the comparison you made is not equivalent. Is not the same as the scenario. So you gave us an example which is not relatable to the scenario. So you should have given a scenario that relates to your topic that's coming up. You want to deal with a topic. The issue is how can the God of the Bible do such a thing? And your point was that similar things are happening in this day and age. Is that correct?
Not particularly. No, it's not
No.
correct.
Okay, so where am I wrong?
Okay, because my point was Kevin was saying no parent will do such a thing. No parent. He was
Yeah, right. That's it. That's quoted in the scriptures. Yeah.
what is quoted in the scriptures.
His point that what the parent wouldn't do is the thing that is in the scriptures. He's saying no parent would do that.
Oh no,
What
yes.
what what God is
Okay,
what
so
God is telling people to do.
okay, so
He's saying that no.
let me let me try and finish it. So Kevin's argument, let's say if God ordered the people to do that, okay, in the Old
Right.
Testament, this is what if your
Right.
child does this, stone your child or do that to your child. And Kevin is
Correct.
saying no parent will do such a thing, even if it's from God. No parent will do such a thing. So whatever God commanded the people to do, Kevin is insisting that no parent will do such a thing. Meanwhile, today, even in this modern day, because of some religious belief of people, they do such a thing today. You get a point. So for Kevin to like generalize it and to say and to speak on authority as if no parent to do such a thing, not even that time and not today. That is Kevin's argument. And I was trying to prove
Okay.
to him.
Are you sure his argument wasn't about God's commands?
Yes, the argument is God's command. God, I said God. I said this is in their generation that was the commandment or that was their laws
Yeah. So
given.
let's stick to. So it's not about the parents' action. It's about God as a parent, as a father, telling his children to do such a thing.
Okay, and then Kevin is saying no parent will do it. That is the point here, Kevin. That is why I gave this
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
example.
So
Wait,
yeah,
wait.
but no parent is. Mhm.
So you get you. I know you get my point. So my point, the reason why I
No,
gave
no,
this.
no, I'm not. No, I think we're thinking two different things. Maybe I could be wrong, but I'm
Okay,
thinking completely different.
so let me give you the reason why I gave this scenario to Kevin. Because Kevin was insisting no parent will do such a thing. No parent will do like
But that's what
give
I'm saying. It's important we establish what that thing is and what parent we're
give
talking
his
about.
child give his child up for killing. No parent will give his
No,
child up for killing.
no, no. Is it? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's saying, and I could be wrong. So we need to check with Kevin. But I'm saying he's saying that no parent will give that command. Like what God is telling his children to do, the Israelites to do. No parent will give that as a command to their children. So that's how you raise your kids.
I don't understand. I don't understand what you mean now.
Um, God is the father, yeah, the
Oh,
parent,
okay. The creator, yes. The father, yes.
yeah. So he's given a set of laws
Mm-hmm.
which does not fit in line with what any parent would give,
According to who?
according to what Kevin's saying, and I agree with him.
But that is and exactly, and that is the logic of you. Okay, that is you and Kevin. That is what you think.
Sure, but we're trying to understand the point first.
Okay.
So I'm not right. We can disagree on it. That's fine. But I'm just saying that the point is no, or the start of the argument is no parent would give that command.
No,
No parent would do that.
that is not even the start of I didn't even
Okay.
argue from this point of view. You see, the whole point of view is Kevin is saying, okay, no God will give this kind of command. But he was saying no parent will do such a thing. No parent will like will give his child up for killing or for him to be stoned to death.
No. No. So then, okay, then let me even concede that he's now talking about the actions of the parent. The parents, what the Bible is saying is that if your child is disobedient
Okay.
and they don't listen,
Yes.
you take them to, let's say, elders or whatever, and they don't listen, you are to stone that child to death.
Okay. Yes.
And that action there, no parent would do.
Okay.
That's not something a parent will follow.
That
I don't know if that's how you raise your kids. I
no.
wouldn't raise my kids like that. And his point is no parent would do that.
Okay. Okay. That's what he's saying.
And I think that's a logical statement. Now
That's
you may
the
be able to find some crazy person somewhere who has done something crazy before. Yeah, I'm sure. But in general, that statement that he made, I think is very, very logical and is correct.
okay. So let me. So that is the point.
You gave a scenario,
But
so that you then gave a scenario,
you
you
just
that wasn't based on that situation.
listen
You then
carefully.
give,
Listen
now gave a
carefully.
scenario.
Kwabena, please, okay. Don't overspeak. Don't speak faster because let's break it down. Let's break it down. What you just said, okay.
Okay, sure.
So according to you and Kevin, that law that law God gave, okay, you are saying no parent will give his child. Let's say your child is stubborn, disobedient, a glutton, okay, and then no parent will give his child for that kind of punishment. That's what you are saying, right?
Yes, stone their child to death. Yeah.
So the child to death, no parent will do that for a punishment. That is what you are saying, and I'm saying, and I was saying so, okay.
Yeah.
That is, you cannot say no parent will do that, because right now, even right now, okay, there are some people there are some beliefs in their doctrine. Their God is telling them, let's say if your child is a homosexual, he should be stoned to death.
Okay.
Do you think?
Scripture they talk about homosexuals, so that's where it's different.
Okay. Wait.
Scripture talked about your child.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Okay. So,
Okay.
according to this generation that we are, somebody believes because his child is a homosexual, his God is telling him to stone him to death. Are some parents doing that or not?
Stoning a child to death for being homosexual?
Yeah.
I don't know of any.
Oh, okay. You don't know of any. Okay. It is going on right now. It is happening. It is happening. Have you? That is why let me. That is why I asked Kevin. Do you know what honor killing is? Because even last week, Skeptic Jabani posted a video in Iraq, from Iraq. He posted an article from Iraq. A 10-year-old girl, a little girl, 10 years old. Let me finish the statement. She did a TikTok video without covering her head. Just not for covering her head and doing the TikTok video. His own family killed her. You get a point? Because it is for them it is an abomination. She did something to bring dirt on the family's name. So for you to sit here and now and telling me what happened over 10,000 years ago is that nobody would do this. That is unthinkable. You cannot say that nobody will do this.
So,
no matter how ridiculous that looks for you today.
Didn't Kevin list? Yeah, sure. Didn't Kevin list the sins stated in the Bible?
Yes.
I think he said, I don't even know. Gluttony, I don't even know if that is one. I remember him saying, I've not read the scripture.
Yeah.
That says that, so I don't know. But he read out the actual crimes of the child.
Yes, he did.
Right. So for it to not be a false equivalence, what you would need to do is show a child who is glutton and a parent has stoned them to death, or people doing that now. Because to bring another situation which is not mentioned there is not the same scenario.
That is why.
You a different scenario.
Exactly.
And it could be argued that your scenario could be more exaggerated to fit your purpose. So to avoid that, what you do is you bring the scenario which is exactly the same as the scenario first mentioned. Once you bring in a slightly different scenario, it is not the same equivalence.
Okay,
it means it's not equal.
No, I know it's not equal, because I know Kwabena. No, I know it is not equal because we don't have the equal. We are not in the equal generation. The laws, things that it is applied to us today, is not the same as that time. Because let me give you an example right now. let
That
me
wasn't Kevin's point. Kevin's point was
no,
just
it's
that
not
no
Kevin's
parent.
point. It's not, that was not the Kevin's point, because
So you have to stick to the person's point. You can't take the point to another direction.
I told him already that was a different
No
generation.
parent will do that, and all you can say is fine. No parent, no. Yeah, you can say then, but all you can say is yeah, I agree. No parent will do that now, but some parents do some things similar or
That is the point.
in the same way. But the point he made that no parent will do that, you just have to agree and say yeah, no one will do that because
Today, no one will do that today. I agreed with him. No one will do that today.
Then that's fair enough. Then
But
that.
Kevin
My point is that
Kevin insists that no one will do that even at that time. Kevin insists no one will do that even at that time. That is the point here. So that is what I was trying to say, Kevin. You cannot say that because you don't know. Let's see. Let me give you one example here, okay? I don't know how it's called in English, but this bragro, bragro. Have you heard of it before, right?
No.
There was a time that I can when the child is getting her menstruation, they have to perform some rituals on her.
Okay.
This bragro issue, okay? As I remember, I haven't seen it before, but I remember they say when the child gets to a certain level and they're doing the bragro and they recognize she's not like a virgin or something like this, there is a punishment for the family or for the girl.
Right.
You understand that? So there was a certain time in Ghana, maybe that was common. If the girl reached a certain age and she is expected to be a virgin, but she is not, some people said she will even be. Some people said sometimes they are to cast out the child from the city. You be trying to sue. You see,
Yeah.
so that was the law for that time. But if I'm giving an example, I cannot give an example for today because it doesn't. We don't follow. We don't think like that at today. So I will give an example.
Right.
I will give an example which fit for today. You get a point. So
No,
what?
but if someone is saying that scenario, where let's say, I mean, it's still fairly common in terms of wanting your daughter to be a virgin. Let's say, because there's still some communities who highly value that now. Let's say someone says no one will kill their daughter for not being a virgin or cast her out of the city for not being a virgin. Today, you stick to that point. If that's the case, that yes, no one will do that today. You say, yeah, no one will do that today. That's my only point. Is you can't bring to try and make something the same as this time that people are doing also bad about virgins. You can't change the scenario. That's my only point on that. Like, bring the same situation that the Bible was talking about. Otherwise, in my eyes, I see that as a false equivalence.
Okay. Listen carefully, Kwabena. It's like I don't know why you are doing this, but you are making me frustrated. Listen, my point of bringing this very exaggerated example was Kevin was trying to say no parent to do such a thing. No parent will give his own child up for killing. You get a point. So and now
in any situation.
that is why I gave this an extreme example. Kevin would deny to give up his child. That is the point. So let me finish, please. Let me finish. People want after people. Even that is why I gave this an extreme example because Kevin thinks because of his position he has put in himself to saying no parent will do that. Even that is why I gave him this an extreme example. He was like hesitating to say yes he will do that, but because he has put in himself in a position not to do that. So I gave him this an extreme example. So Kevin, even today, there can be a situation where parent will give up his children for killing, and I gave this an example. And I God forbid this happens to nobody. I don't want this to happen to nobody. So when I gave him that example, it was to prove to him that there should be a situation where you can give your child up for killing. So if you live in a community, when you believe in something, let's say you believe that is God's law and that is what you have to obey, then some people will follow it, some people will obey it. So for Kevin to sit there and say no parent to do this, it is like, and he's thinking about love. He's generalizing it. The way Kevin sees love, or Kevin will call love, some other people will not consider to be love or not even lawful Okay, so Kevin is like saying that parents love their children to the extent that they will not do such a thing. So this example that I gave to Kevin, it was to prove to Kevin, if Kevin was a decent person and he was honest enough himself, and you yourself, even you said, to understand you are going to report your child, but Kevin refused to report his child, even though I gave him an example that your child was going to kill like 10 people. He said no. But later on, he's trying to change his mind. He was saying like, okay, for now I am being extreme, and now he can consider there is a possibility that he will report. But I gave him the same scenario the other day. He said he won't. You get a point. So the point. So the thing here right now, okay, the case in the Bible. If you listen to the conversation carefully, I told Kevin.
Can I ask you something, please?
Well, let me finish this statement, please. If you listen to the conversation carefully, I began by saying, I will give my child up for killing. And Kevin asked me, so are you saying you will give a child up for killing for being drunk and glutton or something like this? And I said, no, that is a different generation. That is a different. Then I gave him my example. So I told him, no, not for drinking or for not for that, not even for. There are some crimes that, as a Christian today, if my child commit, I will be maybe a hypocrite, or I will not give him up. But I gave him a specific example, which was for him to know that there should be a limit, even for your children. But he refused to say it. Okay, so yes, I understand. Today, nobody will do that. Nobody will say my child is drunkard, so let's go and stone him to death. My child is a glutton, let's go and stone him to death. But that is not our. The Bible is not commanding us to do it today. The whole point, the Bible is not telling us to do it today. But today, there are some things, if your child is doing, you should be willing to give him up for killing. Because it is for the whole benefit for the whole community. Okay, continue.
So just before I go back to my first thing, just what you just said now. So, see, that's the thing. Why if I don't answer the question at the time, I forget. You said, and because I'm driving, I can't write it down as well. First thing I want to clarify from you is that you're saying when Kevin said no parent would do this, you're saying he meant no parent would ever in any situation give their child up for. There's no situation at all that a parent would give their child up for killing. Or was he referring to, as I believe, the scriptures, the scenario said in the scriptures?
Okay, and as I just said, right now, I cannot say it. Okay, but he made it clear.
No, what Kevin said. Because I want this clarified. Kevin's meaning when he said no parent will do this, was he referring to what the scriptures were telling people to do, or no parent would do this under any situation at all, give their child up for killing? Because your justification for bringing up the extreme verses, because he said no parent would ever under any situation give their child up for killing. So therefore you gave him that extreme scenario.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yes. For my understanding, Kevin was saying no parent will do that from for at that time, and not even today. Okay, and I agree with him.
In any situation.
No. He said from the scripture, the law from the scripture. From my understanding, Kevin was saying even from the scripture, that law God gave in the scripture, no parent will do that at that time, and no parent will do that today. So that is what I understood.
Right. So that's my point.
Okay.
So then he didn't. If he's not talking about any circumstances,
Okay.
why did you come up with the most extreme circumstance?
And
he's referring.
Okay, wait, but what did that prove to us?
Gluttony, etc. If he's referring to that and makes a statement that no parent would ever do that back then or now, he's referring to those scenarios. Then that's my point. I don't see why you would have to then bring an extreme situation where a parent would kill a child if they did this.
Okay.
If a child was
if a child was about to
kill all their siblings.
Because what we are considering to be extreme today, okay, could be at their time what they consider to be an extreme. Let me finish. Let me finish the statement, because people have to listen. You see, according to the Bible, one of the extreme things one can do is to insult your parents. That is the capital punishment. You get a capital punishment. Or to hit your parent.
Sorry, it's cutting out. Sorry.
Okay, I said according to the Bible, I think to insult your parent or to hit your parent or to disrespect your parent, that is one of an extreme thing one can do in the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay, in the Old Testament, that is one of the most
Uh-huh.
extreme things one can do. We find people doing that today to their parents. We have example
Mhm.
of people beating their parents, insulting their parents. You get a
Yeah.
point. It is not that
Yeah.
extreme in our generation. You get a point. So, what do you consider the example that I gave as an extreme? It
Yeah.
is extreme for us today, but you can the example in the Bible. It could be also an extreme for them at their time. So you think
Right.
I am saying something extreme because of our generation, but at their generation in the Bible, that could be also an extreme situation for them. And
Yeah, but
Kevin,
you're
wait. So the point here is, from my whole argument with Kevin is like trying to say no parent will do such a thing at that time. Kevin doesn't know. He doesn't know what somebody would do at that time, like 2,000 years ago. He doesn't know. That is the point here. So
yeah.
he's trying to say no parent will do that, and no parent will do that today. And I agree with him. No parent should do that
Okay.
today. Even maybe there are parents who will do that today, but no parent should do that today. And the Bible is not
Yeah.
commanding us to do that today. So I was trying to show Kevin. So there are parents who give up their children depending on what if they do something extreme. Because what the Bible is also commanding, it is not just for fun. The Bible teaches punishment to your children, punishment for children. It's in the Bible. So in the case of you stoning your children in the Bible, it has to be something extreme. It doesn't, because Kevin even said in the conversation, this didn't happen in the Bible or in history. It didn't happen. So they probably have something you have to do to the extreme matter before you come to the stoning. It is not like something you do it just like that. You get a point.
So
So you
no, not really. I mean, I do. Let me say, I get your point completely, but I really do not agree because you're bringing in so many. It could be this, it could be that, it could be that, just to bring in an extreme case. His statement was, and you said you agree on it, and I think I agree on it as well. Is that those things written in the scriptures? Because the point he's making, or if he's not, I would definitely make is those things said in the scriptures um, sound barbaric, sound very um, sound very bad, and bad advice to give to a parent. Now, the straight go-to point is it was for that generation and it doesn't continue for this generation, and so the counter statement then is whether it's for that generation or for this generation, the situation is still barbaric, or even still, I think what his point was, no parent would ever do that, either in those times or this time. Now, your point, which I get, is that how do you know the mindset, the culture, the education, the morality, or whatever it is of those people back then to make a general statement
exactly.
that no parent would 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 do it back then, because parents were doing things, you said, in our culture, you could say without foresight or lack of education or whatever it may be, that we now look as bad. So it's possible that even as this sounds bad to us today, it's something a parent, what are we talking about? We're talking about Old Testament. So a parent maybe 5,000 years ago could have done that thing then, because of their ways of life or their culture. That's possible.
Exactly.
That being said, yeah, that I could get that. To say no parent then would do it, that would be hard to justify. I don't know how you would prove that. For you to make that statement, I don't know what proof you would have to make that statement. So I get that, but the fact that that law was given then, the thing that you say about the law was given then because it was for that generation, that part I don't agree with you about. I think that's a different conversation.
That's a different
Um,
conversation. Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay, I'm happy that you agree with me on this part. Kevin cannot prove that no parent will do that. He cannot prove. Okay, so as we have putting that aside, and then when I was saying, say, I was giving this an extreme example or scenario. Kevin was saying, said, are you saying you are going to kill your child for not for being drunkard? I said, no, Kevin. In the conversation, I said, no, it's not about that. That's a different generation. But I am giving you a
okay.
different scenario. In this scenario, is about if I see my child doing this such a crime, and I know if I don't stop him, he's going to continue criming. Okay, and I know if I report him, he's going to be stoned or he's going to be killed. This I will still have to report him because I cannot watch my child continue killing innocent people. Did you recognize how when yesterday on Monday when I told Kevin, but what if your child will kill you also? He will turn up to kill you too. He said then he will
Yeah.
report. Did you hear
Yeah.
him say that?
Yeah.
He said then he will report. You see, so and this is the guy now.
Yeah.
He is judging,
Yes,
but
I did.
he said he will report. So when it was about some people, he laughed his child enough not to report. But when it was about his life, he will report.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you say about this?
Is in like is it? He said that's not the right thing to do, but he's talking on. He's just being real in terms of, um, we have a selfish nature which looks after ourselves more than it does other people. That part I agree with. I think he did say it wasn't right.
Now,
He's not.
no,
He's
no,
not.
no. He's not. He is now.
He's not saying.
He said
He's
he's
not
being
saying that.
realistic.
What he's
Listen, when he said he's being
saying.
realistic, is he speaking from a good thing or a bad thing?
Is he? No, it's like our nature. Our natural nature isn't good. No,
Uh-uh?
sometimes it's not good.
Wait. Our
Sometimes,
nature is not good.
our natural nature sometimes may not be good. What we may want for ourselves
I don't get it. And then
naturally good,
from the
unless we,
wait, hold on, man. From the evolution point of view, how is that?
yeah.
Who is deciding that what is good and what is bad?
So, from the evolutionary point of view, it's taken on what benefits.
Mm-hmm.
What benefits? Sorry, they want me to call somebody. What benefits society as a whole?
Okay.
So,
So
yeah.
and that is Kevin. And Kevin is saying so if that is evolution's nature, Kevin should have thought of the society, but he said he no. So why is Kevin going against the nature?
No, so that's why he's. So I think we're confusing something here. You asked me a question. What was the evolution? Where does evolution and morality kind of link, or what's the link between evolution and morality? And so that's why I said about what's good for the environment. That doesn't mean everybody always just naturally does everything that's good for the environment.
I don't understand it because if that is the nature, you see, something which is if we are dealing with the evolution thinking, okay, and in what is in me naturally is to survive. So if I am doing what I have to do to survive, I am doing the good thing because that is my instinct. That is the natural thing in me. So if I have to kill, like Kevin is saying, if Kevin was behaving naturally, and that is what people were because according to Kevin, according to your logic here, that is the nature. What is natural in you is to protect your children. So that was
Yeah.
evolution thinking, Kevin. And now he's trying to say,
Sorry, it keeps breaking. So I'm getting parts of what you're saying sometimes. So can you just repeat the last thing because it was breaking?
these guys. I said, what is natural in me is to
Yes.
survive. Is my natural instinct is to survive,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So that would be a good thing for me, right?
Yes.
That will not have anything to do with the community or the society because naturally I have to survive, I have to live, and I have to feel comfortable. That is what my nature tells me. That is natural from the evolution point of view. So what you will see,
Mm-hmm.
when you bring some rules in and say that is not moral or that is not good, but which goes against my nature, which I think I have to do to survive and which is good for me,
Ah.
how does that go?
Okay.
How does that go together?
So now you said morality. You mentioned morality.
Yes, yes, that's what you're
And
trying to
so
impose on me. You are trying to impose something on me that you
yeah.
call morality, yes, from
So
the evolution point of view.
yeah. So morality from that is about what is good. If let's say you're not religious, and even if it's evolution or whatever, your morality comes from what is good for the community or for the species as a whole, not just yourself.
And
That's the
and, and,
morality
and
aspect.
what is my natural instinct? What is my natural instinct? What if my natural instinct goes against the morality of the community?
Yeah, that's why we have societies to try and because our natural instinct, for example, a man may have a natural instinct to just sleep with any woman,
Yes.
and the society has to
And is that bad?
have
Is that a bad thing?
that natural instinct. No, because that's how a man. That's the basic thing that man needs to generate the feelings for a woman. So now,
And
if
so
there's
if
no
some people
laws,
trying
if there's
to
no
some
laws
people.
by society,
Mm-hmm.
if there's no laws by society to establish, okay, these are your natural inclinations, this is the way you naturally feel, but this is the way we have to apply those feelings in this society for it to work, because we need parents or kids to grow up knowing their parents, or the parents to try and raise their kids. If you just go around having sex with everyone, don't even see that person again, don't even know that person's pregnant, how would you raise their kids? That doesn't work. So you have a natural inclination about how
But
you
it is
want
working
to
for the
act.
animal kingdom.
Yeah, they don't have a society that has put down rules. So, for example, when a lion sees
Mm-hmm.
cubs that are not his, he kills them.
Exactly.
That doesn't. That's just a nature, because the natural inclination is for your offspring to grow, and someone else's offspring is a threat to your offspring. So, therefore, unless a society or rules made up where it's like, this doesn't work, we're dying too quickly, or this does, for whatever reason, and he sit down and they amongst themselves decide we're not going to kill any cubs we see just because they're not ours, then that's what they're going to do. And so with time, we may have had similar, I would say, less evolved thinking in terms of how we do things. And I think you mentioned some of that in terms of what you do with people who are not women who are not virgins. So society then looks at using the understanding about what's good and beneficial for the society as a whole to deal with people's natural inclinations, which may not always be good.
Okay. So may always, that's what I don't understand. What you are considered to be good or what not to be good. So if the society, let's say, if the society agrees to, let's say, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's say,
I think I get where I think I get where you're not getting me. But yeah,
no,
go
wait,
on,
wait.
finish.
Let me see. Let me see. If the society agrees to allow, let's say, the Ashanti people to be the slaves, they say, okay, you are the Ashanti people, they should be our slaves.
Sorry, what? Sorry.
The Ashanti. I'm just giving an example. Let's say a
Yeah, no, sorry, you
society.
kept cutting out, so I didn't hear that.
I said, let's say a society. You said the society can determine or make the rules for what will benefit the whole community, right?
Yeah,
And then you have to put your natural instinct aside and follow what the society, what will benefit the society, right?
correct.
So let's say if the society, if there's a community and they say let's say the Ashanti people in this community, okay, let's force
Yeah.
them to be slaves so that they can labor for us, and then it will benefit the whole community more if you force these particular people. And then in broader term or in bigger terms, that will be good for us because they are strong men and they are tall men, they are very fast, so they can do more things for us so that our land will prosper. Would that be a good thing? Because the community decided, the society decided to do that for the
Oh
minority.
no, right. So no, yeah. So then, if it's come across that everything a society decides is good, no. For this argument that you're doing now, I
Yeah.
think, is the same I hear about people saying about common sense. What if somebody chooses to do X, Y, or Z from their common sense? Is that okay? And the problem I have with that is that's not common sense, because the same way
You are
if
giving
you
a
say,
different example. You see now you are focusing on common sense right now. Because you were
no, no,
saying
I'm
the
using, okay,
society. You gave an example.
I'm using the same, no,
My
you know,
natural instinct, my
you have to
natural
try and
instinct is being put aside
listen
based
to
on
what
the
you said.
society. That's what you said.
See,
My natural instinct,
see,
I should follow the society because that would be good for the community. And now I'm giving an
no,
example. You stick
no,
to
no,
the.
no, no. No. So, I said there's what may or may not be good. I clearly remember saying that. I said you have a natural instinct which may or may not be good.
Okay.
And we wanted to establish what I meant by, or how I think we wanted to establish what I meant by good. So it's important to try and let me like say my point instead of because there's things what you're saying I don't get and I don't agree with, but I'm letting you finish before I try and answer. Now sometimes it's a problem because I can't remember my question, but you have to let me finish what I'm saying. My point I was saying about common sense wasn't just based on common sense. It can be used for any word or term when you look at an action and say, according to these people, this is good, or according to these people, this is common sense, or according to these people, this is wisdom. So therefore, what's the problem? Now, the problem I have with those kind of arguments, like what you've just done now, is if you say, if I say to you, what if somebody in their wisdom decides they want to open a business for their children, so that their children, they can have something for their children, to pay their school fees, but they have a business which they make their business in such a way that they give out money, and they make a loss every month. They're making a loss. That's not wise, even though someone can say in that person's wisdom they've decided to do that. The problem is that was not wisdom. So it was that person's thinking, it wasn't that person's wisdom. Wise, for something to be wise, it has to follow a certain criteria. Once it doesn't follow that, the fact the person did it doesn't make it their wisdom. The fact that someone does something doesn't make it common sense just because it's coming from them. Common sense has to follow a certain criteria. Wisdom has to follow a certain criteria. Good has to follow a certain criteria. So if a society does something which doesn't follow the criteria for good, it is not good just because the society thought it was good. That's what I was trying to establish, that you can't use bad examples where the society isn't doing something is good, but just because they thought it was good, use that as an argument. I'm not
Okay.
sure if you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but the word you using the word good. So
Right.
what?
So
Let me finish. What you are saying, the society did it and they thought it was good, may not be good. According to you, may not be good. But
yeah,
what
it can
if?
only be determined good. It can only be determined good after you looked at the results of it and seen, is this good?
Okay,
Good has to follow
and the
certain
scenario
criteria.
and the scenario that I gave you, the results is good for them. The result is good for them because making the
No,
Ashanti
no. See,
people.
no. You didn't hear what. Then you didn't hear my point, because I said it's good for the society as a whole. If if the actions are beneficial for the society as a whole, that is one of the criteria for it to be good. Other things is like certain people should not be taken advantage of or whatever for it to be good. Like you can't base it on it's good for some and not good for, like, someone else is losing out. Then it's not good.
Yeah, there is no society who agrees on everything 100%. There are always some people who
I'm not
disagree.
saying.
So
I'm not saying they have to agree. I'm just saying that in order for the actions, we can have a society then where we have no good morals. That is possible.
no,
If that's what you're trying to say,
as,
that can be possible. But by saying for it to be considered good, it is not from the person saying it is good, but whether it follows criteria of it being good. That's the only way you establish if it's good. So those arguments, like I'm saying, the reason I referred back to the common sense because I hear it so many times to the common sense. What if someone in their common sense decides to kill their children? Is that okay? That's not common sense. That doesn't follow the criteria for common sense. So therefore, just because a person thinks
listen carefully,
it's
Kofi,
good,
Kwabena, listen. Okay, my point here is you say I should put my natural instinct on the side to follow what the community, okay, decides for me. And as I know There is nowhere
I said, what did I say?
which as like what will benefit the society in whole, right? That's like
No,
that means
I said, what our natural inclinations may be may not be good. So society has come up with some things which is supposed to be good for the society as a whole, not based on what people's natural inclinations may be, because they may not always be good. So what I'm saying is that there is something to try and counter people's natural inclinations, because we have thoughts within we have problems or issues within our natural inclinations, and so to counter that, we've got a society that looks at and says, rather than looking at what Kwame wants, what this person wants, let's look at what the community as whole will serve the community. Yes, it's good for Kwame to go into Kofi's house and take his TV, because Kwame gets a TV.
Kwame, I get a point here. But what you are just saying, right now, okay, so let's see what the interest of the whole community, and because we can't let everybody live whatever he wants to do. So for people to come out and say, okay, let's set the rules so that everybody will follow that rules, right?
Yep.
Which will benefit the whole community. And these rules that is going to be set, not all of them, not everyone agrees with it. Those who don't agree with it, sometimes they think it goes against them. So, but still, the majority, let me finish. But still, the majority will carry the vote, or let's say like that, the majority will carry the vote. So, for the rules to be established and the rules to be followed, the majority has to be counted, or just to be, you have to have the majority so that the rules will stick and it will apply for everybody, right?
Uh-huh.
And that is what I mean. So and that would be would that be good or would that be bad if the majority says,
No,
oh,
okay, so some of the rules,
uh-huh,
some of the laws are not good. Some of them are not.
Even though the majority are for it, even though the majority are for it.
No, the criteria is not about the majority.
Uh-huh.
The criteria for being good is not about the majority. For example,
But Kwabena, but who be listening carefully? No. I want you to see. You are now saying, say, the majority, even it might not be good, but who is determining what is good? Because it's good for them. Who are you to say it's not good? That is the point. Who are you to say it is not good, even though the majority say it's good for them?
Anything, goodness, wisdom, whatever, would need a set of criteria for you to establish. And once it suits just a certain group of people, it may not be good.
According to who? You don't get a point. I know what you are meaning. What might be good for you? Because you are like saying something is good or something is bad. But according to you, maybe marrying a 10-year-old child is bad, according to you. And I agree with you on that point. I agree with you. But what if there is a society which they think that is good for them, and the majority of them, 99%.
So there's societies where that happens, and so what you then have to do is look at how this rule, does it fit and does it benefit everyone? If young kids are being taken for marriage before they've had a chance to grow up, is that good for them?
For them, yes. For them, if it is, that's the point. For them, yes. They are saying.
Can I finish?
But they are saying yes. They are saying no. They are saying yes. It benefits them. It's good for them. So who are you to say it's not good? Yes, yes. They are saying the community saying because these women.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. Trying to get you to say, because the community have established something.
Yes.
I understand you completely. And the community now to establish whether that community, what they've established, is good or not. Now the community thinks it's good. In their mind,
no, they don't think it is good for them. It is working perfectly. It is perfect, good for them. They don't think they have set this community and it's working for them. So they are living. They know the women, or the children. They get married at the age of 10. They get so every child has a husband, and they are working together as a family, and they are not.
And they're happy with it.
And they're happy with it. And who are you to say it is bad?
Right. So then you look at, does this benefit? You look at outside of what people are thinking. Does this benefit all parties, the children. Is this the best thing for the children? Is this the best thing for each one? And if the answer is yes, if the answer is showing that yes, the best way for somebody to grow up is to be married at the age of 10, because maybe they learn more responsibilities, they mature quicker, they are able to add value to the society, whatever it may be. If you look at it and it's like it benefits that child, it benefits the person being married, it benefits the community. If it benefits all these things, then you can then say it's good. You don't say it's good just because the majority are doing it. Now, if you look at the same thing and you find, no, this doesn't benefit the kids, this leaves the kids with psychological problems. But on the other hand, like you're saying, the community is enjoying it, things are going well, and no one sees it as a problem. It's not good. It's not good.
Why? What is not good? No, even though nobody sees it as a problem.
Yeah, because if you've established that it has underlying problems or effects on the children, psychologically, emotionally, or whatever.
You see that is the whole point of people, this evolution thinking. You see now, because you are now trying to establish what is good and what will benefit a society.
From the beginning, there is a criteria.
Yeah, but this criteria is set by who? Who gave this criteria? Set by who?
Oh my gosh! I'm repeating the same thing on the basis of if it's good for like everyone who establishes it, community. So if your point is, can the community's criteria be wrong? Yeah.
According to who? But who? That is who is saying something is wrong? How can you say it is wrong if it is working for them? Who is deciding what is wrong?
You've established a term, goodness, and to establish
okay. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Is marrying only one wife wrong or good or bad? Wrong or good?
I can't say I've studied. Like I said, I'll have to know more about the implications on all sides before I could. I would definitely, from my side, say it was good or bad, and I haven't done that.
So what? I don't know. I don't get your answer. Is marrying only one wife a good thing or a bad thing?
I said I can't.
Okay, marrying 4 wives.
It's like me asking you right now where I am. Are there how many? Are there ants on the floor or not? You wouldn't be able to answer because you don't know.
Okay.
You haven't got the information to know.
Marrying 4 wives, is it good or is it bad?
You're not hearing me. I haven't looked into the pros and the cons. You know how you have to evaluate things before you can make a decision. I haven't evaluated that to know.
But okay, so let's say you let's say you do the evaluation, whatever you do, okay, whatever conclusion you come to. Does that mean I have to come to the same conclusion as you came to?
Do you have to? No, you don't.
Okay, so what if you evaluate the situation and you come to the answer is B and I come to the answer is A? Who is correct and who is wrong?
So that's where, as a society, you will sit down. It's done. This is exactly what you're saying is done in science. You sit down and you then come together and you start establishing why I've got A, why you've got B, what is the commonalities, what's the differences, and you start studying them and you start seeing.
And that one science can do that.
In terms of no, I'm saying the way it works is in the same way as society. Science. Sorry.
No, okay. So now I've told you. So in case you do your evaluation, you come to answer is A. I came to answer is B, and then and then for me it is good, and for you it is good. Who is now going to determine which one is correct and which one is wrong? And you say you go to science.
Yeah, and I said it has to be then investigated and looked into. Like you have to see why I've said A. What were my good points? What were my bad points? What were your good points? What were your bad points? And then it's not just a case of, oh, someone says A, someone says C, therefore one of them must be correct.
No, I just said you did your evaluation. You did your research on it.
Evaluation could be wrong, but what will need to happen is, and this is what has progressed over the millions of years, not thousands, and which we've got to this point now, is that society comes together and looks at, why people want to do A, why people want to do C, and they look at and they evaluate and they come to a conclusion and they say, okay, we might go with B, or we might go with A, or we might go with C, or
And then
Either A or C may not be correct.
okay, so
But it has to be looked over and studied. And those studies are what we have now.
So whatever the answer they come to, would that mean that it's good then? Are you saying, is that what you're saying?
No, not necessarily, but that's the best that society can do.
Okay, so
to come up with morals.
Okay, so how is that the morals then? Because even if they come to wait, let me finish. Even if they come to a conclusive answer, one answer, it still could be bad according to your own logic. So how is that the
only way we've got to work? That's the only way. The idea of an imaginary God writing something down.
You see now you are moving away. You are moving away. You are running away from the topic.
Because that's what you.
No. I'm trying to. You see now. Every time you question the Bible, every time you question the Bible. I'm not questioning the Bible right now. We are trying to see the other side of the road, how it looks like. So now don't bring the Bible in here. So right now you have come to the conclusion. Even if you choose A, B, C, this community comes together, and you choose A, B, C, or D. They came to one conclusion. Even to that conclusion can still be wrong.
Correct.
It could be still immoral still.
Could be, yes.
So what is the point then?
Because it's the only way. It is the only way we're going to get anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere by just not doing anything.
Okay,
the fact that it's the same with, let's not say this, the same with science.
No.
The fact that science doesn't have all the answers is the only way we're going to make progressions in anything we do with health, with medicine, with technology, with anything. Along those lines is by doing it the scientific way.
Okay.
The fact that
okay.
You can't answer everything doesn't make it wrong.
Okay. So listen carefully. Okay. This is the question I want to ask you. Let me ask you this question. There is somebody. Okay. Let's say that this question was asked by this doctor or this teacher. He said, let's say his grandma is a very rich lady, and then if she dies, he is going to inherit everything the grandmother's owes. Okay.
Right.
Now he has a poison. He can poison the grandmother and then inherit everything the grandmother owes. Can you use science to prove that him poisoning the grandmother is a bad thing?
No, I didn't say I could.
What?
I don't think I said I could. Did I say I could?
No. Can you use science to prove that it's a bad thing?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say no.
I'm not saying you said something. I'm asking you. This is a question. It's a question. I'm asking you.
No. Because I'm trying to think. Can you use a scientific method in this case? No. You could try it out over a group of people and then find out over a period of time what works, what doesn't work, whether and then that's what science is. Science is just a process.
No, I get that science is a process, but my question was him killing the grandma to inherit the properties. Okay, can you use science to prove that is a bad thing?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I don't think science is there to prove something is good or bad.
Okay, so science doesn't prove good or bad. Science is just, but science can prove that him putting the poison in it is going to cause the grandmother to die. Science can prove that, right?
Yeah.
Science can prove putting the poison in the drink or a cup of a tea, soup, whatever for the grandmother to drink, it is going to cause an effect. The grandmother is going to take it. She's going to die.
Yes.
But if that is a good thing or a bad thing, science cannot prove it, right?
No.
Okay, so science doesn't prove a good and bad things. Can science prove if that is a good moral or bad moral? Can science prove it?
Not why? No. Let me say no.
Okay, so science cannot prove good morals and bad morals. That means it has to come from outside from science, right?
Yeah, but it can happen by applying like the process of science.
Well, how? Explain this to me. So let's say explain this to me.
So the process of science is you start off with an idea,
you
test that idea, you see the results of those ideas, and you make a conclusion based on what you found from those ideas. So if you want to find out, I don't know, is it good to have 4 children or 2 children in this current economy? what you would do is you will have hundreds of people having 4 children, hundreds of people having 2 children, put them in the same scenario, and you look at which ones benefit, survive, flourish the most. And then you'll make a conclusion. Those having 2 children, maybe it is better to have 2 children based on the fact that they live longer, they are more healthy because you've got more money to spend on them, you've got more time on them, etc., etc. So you can use the scientific process to then look at and say, now from that process, the good thing to do would be to have 4 children as opposed to
my 2 children.
as opposed to 4.
Okay, 2 children supposed
It's a
to 4.
process, so you can follow. You can follow the process to establish something. But that's why I keep saying science is a process. The findings you get are not science. Like I always try and say, Newton's law, people say is science. That's as a result of following the scientific process. His conclusions, his theories are his theories, or the theories of what scientists have put together after following the process. It's like cooking. Cooking is a process. The process, light soup is not cooking. Light soup is food that you eat. The process has to be followed by cooking. And that cooking process sometimes can be done badly. Sometimes it can be done very well. And whatever, it's the process. Science is just a process. So can cooking determine if food is good or bad? No, not necessarily. But by following the process, you could come to an understanding of which way of cooking or doing something is better.
Okay, so from my understanding, what I've gotten from this conversation right now is, okay, we are born naturally with an instinct which is natural in us naturally, okay, and then based on the society and the community, they can decide what will be better for all of us in the community, and then I have to then put aside my natural instinct and follow what the community will put ahead on us, okay, and then even though the community will decide something they think it is better for the whole community, they could be still wrong. It could be still wrong or immoral to do, but this is what the community has decided. And then I also have gotten from you, science alone cannot teach us what is moral and what is not moral. Science cannot prove moral to us. So if a scientist, like as I just said, if a scientist decide to, let's say, blast the whole Africa out, wipe the whole Africans out, so that they can come and take the land of Africa.
Science doesn't do that.
No. I mean, wait, let me finish. I say a scientist who has the ability and the capability and the power and the method of creating something which can wipe out the whole surface of Africans from Africa. That scientist has the power. But if it is good or what is bad, science doesn't teach him that, right?
I said you can establish that from looking at the results afterwards, and you can establish something by following the scientific process.
Yeah, but for the person doing this, from his natural instinct, he needs to survive. He sees the continent Africa has everything that he needs to be a perfect scientist. Okay, so he is doing something naturally. It is to him, and he has the power. He has the weapon to do it, and that is science. But science itself is not telling him.
No. Because then what you're doing now is now like the same thing he's saying. A pastor decides he's going to take all the money from the congregation because he's leading it. Like that's not then saying. Then I turn around and say, well, because he's following the Bible, therefore the Bible. This is what the Bible is teaching. Science is not teaching that.
I didn't say science. I didn't say science taught him to do that. I never said science taught him to do that. Science doesn't teach morals, or science didn't. It's a process. That's what you said. So he has a process in a way of maybe wiping the whole Africans out of Africa. I didn't say science taught him to do it. Doing
the process doesn't. No. The process might provide you with a bomb.
Yes.
You may following the scientific process. You may end up with a bomb.
You know, that's what I'm saying. The scientific process.
You might end up with a bomb, but the idea to blow up the whole of Africa has got nothing to do with science.
Exactly. That's my point. It has not. I'm not saying science told him to do that. I didn't say that. I'm not saying because he's a scientist that is why he's doing that. But I'm saying he has a tool, he has a weapon, he has a knowledge of science. And now, if he's about to do this, I didn't say science told him to do it, but if he's about to do this, there is nothing scientific to tell him that is immoral or that is bad or that is good. That is his decision now. He is making the decision. I'm not saying science told him to go and do such a horrible crime. No, but he has the weapon. He has the knowledge about what combination, combining this, and if I put this together, like sciences process. You put this together, you're going to come. The result is going to be this. And he has something now. Let's say an injection. Okay, a vaccine. Let's say a vaccine. And for him, if he's about to go and destroy a whole community, a whole place, because of the vaccine he created through science, science doesn't tell him that is immoral or that is immoral, that is not moral, that is immoral. That is what I'm saying. So science doesn't teach moral or immoral. That's what the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
It has to come from somewhere else. So if I'm a scientist or a doctor or somebody who has the knowledge, and I create something and I want to use it for the humanity, for my society, I didn't get it from science. I didn't get it from science, but something else is giving me this kind of energy to use it in a good way so that people may survive their sicknesses or something like this. That is what I'm trying to establish here. So science itself doesn't teach what is moral and what is not immoral, what is good or what is bad. Because we have seen there are a lot of criminal scientists in this world. That it happened a lot of time. Okay, they use human beings as people because of they wanted to maybe come forward. Maybe they wanted to finish whatever they were doing. Okay, Kwabena, we have spoken like over 1 hour now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in the group too, I want to ask you this question. Let me see if it's still recording. Let me see. Okay, it is still recording. In the group, okay, you said something. You said something about me being dishonest, and you didn't know that I was this dishonest. You remember saying something like that?
Remember, what was the topic? What was it? I remember that was my comment. I can't remember what was it.
Yeah, but I think that you were asking me something, but I oversaw your comment. I didn't read that because it's a lot of people. They are always writing and tagging me, so I don't read everything. Okay, to be honest. But you were saying before you thought I was here to learn, but you have seen that I am being disingenuous, and then I am not for the truth.
About the situation, though. I need to remember the situation.
Okay, I don't remember the situation either too. But okay, so okay.
I can't speak on it unless I
remember. Okay, I don't remember too. But let me ask you this question, because you said I posted something about Ben Mushe. You said out of 7 billion people, you cannot speak about Ben Mushe. You speak only about the Bible, right? So you don't speak about the people. You speak about the Bible. I said whenever I post something about Ben Mushe in the group, and then you are not willing to speak about what Ben Mushe is saying or to give your opinion about it because you say you don't really care.
I said I'm not interested. I'm not interested in one person out of 7 billion and what they do in their personal life or what their personal thoughts are about homosexuality. If I'm talking to that person and I want to talk to that person, what do you think about homosexuality? I'll have that discussion with them. But I'm not going to. I don't follow up on Kim Kardashian, who she's dating, who this person is. I don't follow up on that. That's my nature. I don't have time for those people. They're not following me. I don't see the point in. It's like that Big Brother thing when people watch Big Brother. I don't see the point in watching somebody else live their life while your life is going away. I just don't. For me, that's just my general.
Okay,
concept,
I know you see, Kwabena, you see. No,
I can learn from. Then I'll deal in that discussion and see. Okay, that's a good point. I never thought about maybe politics in this way or science in this way or whatever it may be or parenting in this way. That point I will discuss. What he does. No, I'm not interested.
You're not interested. Okay, you see now, you gave an example right now. You saying Kim Kardashian is not following you. So, but that is an extreme example too, because how do you compare?
It's not.
Let me finish. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because if I post something about Ben Mushe, which you follow and you have been listening to for a very long time, you have confirmed that to us before. Both of us, Kim Kardashian and Avram Ben Mushe, they are not on the same level. They are not Ben Mushe you follow.
You're not getting my point. You're not getting my point. It's like Kim Kardashian can say something, and I can follow what she's saying. She may talk about something like the vaccines, for example, and I may follow it. I may read it, and I may find it interesting.
Okay.
That's not the same as finding out who is Kim Kardashian dating. What is she?
Okay. Okay.
That's her personal business. It's her personal business. What Moshe says, yes, I have listened to. What Donald Trump says, I've listened to, but I don't care about what these people do.
Okay, so if Ben Moshe, so my point of posting these videos, if Ben Moshe comes and speaks something about the Bible, okay, like he did at the yesterday's program, and then when P Black was reading it, P Black clearly said, "Assembly onyankopon," which is totally different from Ben Moshe saying, "Assembly nyame." So when Ben Moshe comes and speaks, and then you listen to him, and then he sounds convincing to you, but maybe he's twisting certain words in it, which may be deceiving, but you don't recognize it because the way he's convincing it. Let me finish. Let me finish.
You're saying I listened to him. I haven't listened to him, and I haven't seen your show yesterday.
Okay. Let me finish. What do you mean you haven't listened to Abraham Ben Moshe? Haven't you listened to Abraham Ben Moshe?
No. I said I didn't listen to what he said. That show that you're talking about.
Okay.
I haven't heard him say it.
So okay, so
you said encounter to it.
Don't worry. I will explain this to you. Listen carefully, okay? So Abraham Ben Moshe is somebody you have listened to, and then he has made a lot of claims about the Bible. Okay. Yesterday we did a program. I did a program yesterday, and then Abraham Ben Moshe was quoting the Bible. And P Black was the reader. P Black was reading from the Bible, reading John 1:1, okay? And John 1:1 was saying in the Bible, in the Tree Bible. Remember the other time when Ben Moshe was reading the Tree Bible, saying God created Oba and Ordinary Onipa. And then Ben Moshe was insisting because God said Oba and Ordinary Onipa. That means Oba and Nipa. You see, he was saying something like this. But yesterday, when P Black was reading the Bible, P Black read it. Asemno ye onyankopon. That is what P Black said. But Ben Moshe repeated that to us, to the audience, as Asemni ye nyame. You get a point? So for Assembly to be onyankopon and Assembly ye nyame, that is two different things. Because Ben Moshe believes, the Bible teaches that all human beings are nyame. Ben Moshe already made a video about that. So I was trying to tell him say this is the kind of deceive that Ben Moshe makes. So he was trying to limit Jesus to be only nyame like Ben Moshe is, because Ben Moshe is nyame. And that's what I mean. So because you listen to Ben Moshe and then you are convinced on whatever he tells us or whatever he says, you are really let me
I'm not though.
Are you not convinced when Ben Moshe says something? Do you question it?
Not yet. Oh gosh, totally. I listen to his points, and I find for me, I agree with what is consistent. I told you before. He started off as talking about the New Testament was false and the Old Testament was correct. I didn't him. I liked him still because I thought finally there's somebody speaking out against the Bible.
Finally.
Speaking out against half.
Kwabena,
I will take it.
You see now the point.
I didn't then say, because Ben Moshe said the Old Testament is correct, I'm gonna start following.
I get the point. But what I'm trying to establish right now is when I bring a certain aspect of Ben Moshe in the group for us to see a different type of Ben Moshe, you are trying to say no, that one that it doesn't bother you. That is his personal life, but it has nothing to do with the personal life. It has to do with the consistency of the guy. But now you are trying to ignore that.
No, if you're saying that he said things, let's even say, like, I think you said he's lying or he's deceiving people.
Yes.
If you're saying that he said things which are lies or deceit, that could very well be possible. I don't doubt that. Like what you're saying yesterday, if he was deceiving, that's highly possible.
Would that be interested? Would that interest you?
That he's. And that's what I'm saying. No, in the same way, all what these pastors say in churches that may be deceiving the congregation, I don't have time for it.
I know, but you see now. So now you are being partial now. Some things Ben Moshe say, you may accept it, and then you may think he's speaking the truth. But if you find,
I can acknowledge where he's. If I think he's let's say lied even, I can acknowledge that. And like I can acknowledge that the pastors may lie, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on what does the Bible teach?
But how? You see now.
There's no difference.
But how are you going to acknowledge it if you don't even give it a chance to say? You say you don't care about what Bemushe does privately or something. I never even brought his private life. I never brought his private life out there. What is the private life? Everything is, if it is on social media, it's not private anymore. I never hacked Bemushe's handy to fish out some information which is not out there to bring it to on the street on the page. Everything that I bring on the page, it is something public. Bemushe himself is speaking about it. It's not private, it is public, and this is what Bemushe is saying here, and this is what he's saying there.
That's true. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a house in Ghana, and they're doing work on it.
Oh, you are in Ghana right now?
Yeah.
Oh, lucky you.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. I didn't know crap, but we have to end it anyway. We are spoken over 1 hour now, okay? 1 hour and 10 minutes according to what I've seen here. 1 hour 10 minutes. On the WhatsApp call is 1 hour 12 minutes. But you know, before we start speaking, I asked you before, should I record it? That is why we have some minutes ahead. It's not recorded. So in the recording it's a little bit less, but on the WhatsApp call you can see 1 hour 12 minutes, and on the recording is 1 hour 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So do you have any
on the first point, yeah. So you can say, I'm just going to ask on the first point about the equivalence. Do you understand why I said it's not the same equivalence?
Not because it's not the same. It's not the same generation. That is what I would say.
No. What I mean by equivalence is like the scenario. Let me try and move from here because I can't even hear myself think.
Okay.
I was saying the scenario was not the same, was not equivalent to each other. Whichever generation you want to use, you should use the same scenario. That was my point.
Okay. I you see my point. My point is what is the an extreme example.
But my question was, do you get why I said false equivalence based on that what I've just said?
I get your point. Okay, let's say I get your point. Okay. But do you also get my point? Do you also get my point that the reason why I gave this an extreme example was Kevin trying to say no parent to do such a thing, no parent to give up his child to be killed, and that is the reason why Kevin was hesitating.
Yeah, if Kevin said, and that's why I said, if Kevin said, there's two things. I can't see how you can say, not knowing the educational kind of situation back then and how, let's say, progressive or backwards people were then, that no one could have done it then. I don't know how you can make that claim. That's for him to establish. I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough to know that no one back then was capable or not capable of doing that.
Are you going to question Kevin about that?
Will I question him about it? Now he's come up in this thing. Yeah, it's a question that you can ask him. You know, and he'll have to ask. I have no problem answering.
Now I keep on telling. I kept on asking him, Kevin, you cannot know. How could you know? How could you know? But now maybe you could ask him.
No, but you see, but you see, the thing that you're saying is completely is different from what I thought he was saying. You're saying now he said, no parent under any situation would give up their child for killing, and that's where you then brought up the extreme situations and honor killings. Now, I didn't hear him say that. I thought he was referring to no parent would ever do what the Bible was insisting to kill your children.
I think any situation. No. I'm not. I didn't say all. I'm not saying any. I didn't say any situation. I didn't say. I don't think I've said that. That's what Kevin was insisting. Any situation. I guess I told you. No. The reason because listen carefully. What is extreme to us today, it may be not extreme in 2,000 years to come. So I was telling Kevin. Kevin was insisting.
The same way I just said Kevin cannot. I don't know how Kevin can make that claim.
Okay, so let me clarify this. Let me clarify this. Okay, what Kevin was saying, the law given in the Bible, no parent will give his child up for that kind of punishment. No parent will do that. Okay, so that I think he was speaking about the law given in the Bible. So when I was giving my example, I told him it is not about the law in the Bible. I told him, it is in the audio. I say it is not about the law in the Bible. My example has nothing to do with the law in the Bible, but it's just to
But see,
demonstrate.
why would you do that though?
Because
He's referring to the Bible.
let me finish, because he was saying, and I was trying to tell him, even this day there could be a law, there could be a situation where a parent will give, because at the
Yeah, but
time,
you're taking it to another side. That's my whole point. You're taking
and
the
the point,
argument to another thing.
and
That's not the argument that you're having with him. He's made a point, and instead of you saying, "Yep, that's true," then on, like, I see that as bad. Then on now, finish, move on.
no. Kevin was insisting. Kevin was insisting. Even at that time, nobody would do it, and today nobody will do that. That was Kevin's
So
argument.
that's what I'm saying. So the questioning him on that time, I can get.
Okay.
How can you show? How
And
can
then
you be sure that time?
okay,
That
and
this
I
didn't
told
happen?
him,
Like, when was the
Kwabena,
evidence for that?
then I told him today nobody will do that, because the Bible is not even asking us to do that today. So I told him also today, that law in the Bible, nobody would do that.
So his point was on two times, back then and now.
Back then and now, yes.
Back then we don't know.
We don't know. He cannot say nobody did it.
But now
Nobody will do it.
Now no one will do it.
No one will do it.
The only issue then is to discuss why then back then is he saying no one will do it, and you are saying you can't be sure. That's the only discussion. To bring in the extreme situation of the honor killings and stuff, I don't see the relevance in that.
Okay, and then let me tell you the relevant is, I was trying to establish something to Kevin, that back then that could be something extreme for them, which they would do it.
You could be, but you can't do that. You can't do that in your arguments. You're making up things that now you have to support. The same way he made a comment that he would have to support, you have to do the same.
Okay, so I'm doing the same. I'm trying to support my argument, because listen carefully. So Kevin cannot say nobody did it at that time, but I can say somebody may do it at that time, because right now we have some people doing the same thing today. So I have an argument, because Kevin cannot have any.
They're not doing the same thing. They're not doing the same thing.
What?
You're bringing a scenario which is different.
No, the scenario is not different. It is something extreme. It is
the same. It's not about extremes. You can't say because it's extreme now, it's the same as what their extreme was then. You don't know.
Okay, so listen to in the conversation. Kevin said in the conversation, not even in the Bible, okay, was somebody stoned because he was disobedient. Not even in the history of Jews, he was the one who said it. Not even the history, according to historical record, that something like that was practiced. So I was telling him in the audio, it is in the audio. I said that you see the point here, because even when we read that chapter, that verse, it clearly states, when you have punished him, or you have to first, it's not like straightforward. You have to punish him or do something before it comes to that extent, to the extent of stoning to death. So I was telling him in the audio that you see now, so it is not like something like a petty crime which your child needs to be stoned. It has to be something, maybe a major crime.
No, wait, no, yeah, because can you go back on that? Because yeah, that point as well. You said I have a problem with that. Can you sorry? I know you need to go, but please rewind that point again about the it was not recorded in the book, because there's a problem with that.
Kevin is the one who said even that crime in Deuteronomy, the crime which is there, okay, it never even happened in the Bible. There is nowhere somebody was disobedient and he was stoned to death. That's what Kevin said. It's not my argument. That was Kevin said, okay? And then he also said, even according to historical records, there is something like this never happened. That was what Kevin said. And and then I used that as an argument to him against it. Then you see that means it is not something like a petty crime which will have to be deserved to be stoned to death.
So I think the point that Kevin made about it not being recorded in the Bible, I don't think that's what's the word? That's not evidence of whether it happened or not.
Okay.
So it may happen and may not have happened, but I don't think every action or sin was. Every law that God said you must do this or you must do this or you must do that. I don't know if every one of those there has to be recorded incidents for it to be determined whether it actually happened or was actually a law or not. I don't think that's the case, because I don't think that's what the Bible is about. Personally, I don't think the Bible is about. It gives a law, and it doesn't then say who followed it or who didn't follow it.
Okay, that is the argument Kevin gave. Okay, that's what Kevin said, and
Yeah.
I just use that as an argument for him or as an example for him. Okay, you see, that is an indication even to prove that maybe that is a crime, that is the law God gave, but since you are even using that as an argument, it never happened in the Bible, it never happened in historical record. That may be an indication for that it's not like somebody just.
So then I don't agree with that. Then
Okay.
I don't agree with that. So that point, then I don't agree with.
Okay, so that's the point. That was what I was saying. It's not like the people had no options to punish their children. Okay, that's not the case. That's the only way. So it must be something extreme before it comes to that extent.
No, so again, for the same reason, because I don't even go along with the first part of it. Your then additional part, I definitely don't agree with as well.
Okay, I can't force you to agree with me. That's my opinion. Okay, so now what I mean is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to let you know is you don't know what is extreme at your generation, right? Can you say something? Because if let's say
I have not. No, I've not looked into it. No.
Okay, so what is extreme to them at their generation? It could be a petty crime to us today. So if I am giving
it may not be, or it may not be, or it may not be,
or it may not be, or it may not be. So if I am giving,
so that's why if you don't know which way it is, why
yeah,
you
but
choose
we know from the Bible, the Bible. No, listen, we know from the Bible everything that which has to do with death is a high crime. It's not just a petty crime. That we know from the Bible. Everything considered to be stoned to death or to be then, it is considered very high. How severe the punishment is shows how severe the crime was. So that one we know.
No. That's not necessarily, because you just given situations which.
Hello. Yeah, hello. Okay, Fabindu connection. I disconnected. Okay, and our line so still no and disconnected, but I think say be obi afre no. And yakasa kakra wa say I think say the conversation will be see what I say no. Okay, your brother and the kasa wa say no. Mon share video mon tag am for. They disagree, but someone who say it me have a conversation. Na yenya after a drop okay. Nti be wanya call be a also pick. Yemfa conversation we see what I say na tie for Sethoo ssk and kasa wa say no. Some TV evolution for more morals. Evolution for we betini amase ofre back yemfa no na yenkate call no. Hello, Kwabena? Can you hear me?
Yeah, so it cut off because I had a call coming through. So here, when you have a call coming through, the WhatsApp cancels.
Yeah, I get the point. But I have to go anyway now. Okay, my time as well.
Yeah. I just see my team has smashed in like 4 goals, and you made me miss it.
Oh, I want to you see, we hold do team back. I'm lose one day back. Now we're July already. Huh? Now okay. We don't no worries. Okay. And I will call you mess up from because it's ABI as a group. No more say ABI. Kasa wahona say me. You know my problem with writing. So I'm not like that eloquent. And I make him how I'm a person mechanical. And sometimes maybe you may misunderstand what I'm trying to say. But yeah, obeti my friend say bibi nye clear. Obeti my friend me record. I'll try and put it in the group. No, say the group no be nye BT. So I'm person mutia. Okay. Until we the kasa later. But I don't and my musa question because me person me hwe scenario no me dey ma obi on hase no. Ti scenario na me dey ma no. Listen to what I'm asking you. I don't the me musa want say if God forbid you were in a community just like you said in the what favors the community, you were in a community and there is a serial killer over there, okay? Killing people and you have the evidence and the indication that serial killer happens to be your child, okay? If you report this child, the punishment for him is going to be killed. If you don't report him, he will continue to kill like 10 people. Are you going to report him or not?
Yeah, and that's why I just wanted, like, you clarified, in the same situation you clarified for me last time. You've tried everything, you've done everything you can to help the child, and the child doesn't listen to you. Then yeah, I wouldn't just go and report just like that. No.
But that's not the question that you see now. You are
saying. I'm answering your question.
but
I'm
no,
saying
no, you are adding things up. I didn't ask you. You are,
yeah, but then if those scenarios are open to me, then I would take those scenarios.
but I didn't ask you it is
If they're
open to
not,
you. I didn't ask you that.
but that's
This
what I would do. I
no,
wouldn't just
I
go
know,
around just going.
I hope your child will not do that. I hope nobody's child will do this. I know. I
Sure,
hope
sure. Yeah,
so so
I get you.
so
But I'm
I'm
saying
not
if it does
asking.
happen,
I'm not asking you. See now, I'm
if
not
it,
asking you well, what ways can you do to help him, or maybe to kidnap him and bring him
but
somewhere. And
that's what I would do.
yeah,
If unless that option is being exhausted, I wouldn't just go and report. Then if your answer is, would you just go and report when you have other options? My answer is no, I wouldn't.
but I didn't ask you that. That is the point. I am asking you. This is a clear.
But it's important to know for my decision.
Yeah, but I didn't
What
ask you
happens
that. You
if I
see.
can help the child? If I can't help the child, then that's a different thing. If I can,
Okay,
I will.
so the scenario that I gave you, there is no
Yeah.
option of you helping the child or not helping the child. So why don't you answer the question that I'm asking you? Because you always say I tap around the questions. The question I asked you,
No,
I didn't give you any option of you helping
you
the.
want my honest answer. You want my honest answer. So I have to look at the situation honestly. And
Okay,
so what I'm saying to you
and
is that
what was
so
the
all you have to say
situation?
is yes, you tried to help the child and the child didn't listen.
No,
Then
no, no, no,
finish.
no.
Then I will report them.
Okay, I didn't ask you that. Okay, I'm asking you one more time because Kevin, I'm giving the scenario. The scenario means it's either you report a child, and then the child will be taken and killed because of his crimes. He has killed over many people already, or you will not report the child because it's your child. You don't want them to kill your child, so you will not report him, and he will continue to kill like 10 people. That is what I'm asking you. I didn't give you
No,
any other option.
I wouldn't report even if I knew who was just if he was killing until I did up. So if I haven't done those things, no, I wouldn't report.
Okay, so you will continue to watch up. So before you were telling me what is benefit the society. That is what you said before, right?
No, I said our natural inclinations
Uh-huh.
may not benefit. So that's why society has put in the rules where if, for example, if I'm found guilty of this, I'm put in prison
Okay, so
because it's
the
not good for
and the
society.
society and the
So
society.
society have put in ways to deal with the fact that they know full well
Uh-huh.
that people aren't always going to do what's best in the best interest of the community. In many cases, not just in this case that you said. So
Okay.
for that, they put in rules.
Okay, in the society, they've put in rules that if such a crime is going on and you find it, you have to report it. That is your duty. But you will
Correct.
determine not to do it. Still, but that is what you are saying.
Without offering without seeking
I
help,
didn't.
yeah,
You see
then
now.
I wouldn't.
That is the.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, I'm giving you my answer. Unless I've
You see
sorted
now.
out,
So
I would not report it.
but you are a teacher. You were. Oh, sorry. Let's say you have given an assignment to your children, your students, and you told them write an essay with 100 words. 100 words. You gave them an exam as 100 words, not less, not more. Okay, and then one of the students writes with 220 words. Did he pass the exams or did he fail the exams?
If the word count was part of the failure, then it would fail.
If the what?
If the word count, the number of words was
Yes,
part of the grading or the marking, then they would fail.
they will.
Yes.
Of course, they will fail. Yeah, it
But
counts.
in the same way, do you know that there are exam questions which can be cancelled or taken back because they don't provide sufficient information? Just because you answer a question doesn't mean that question is sufficient.
Okay,
You have to give enough information
but you
to make it fair for that person to answer.
I get it. I get what you are asking. I get your point.
And I
Okay,
don't feel your question has covered things that I need to consider. So
but
that's why
that
I'm
is not the
asking
case.
you,
The case
can
is
I
not trying
consider
to
these?
because everybody the case here is not trying to see if you can consider helping your child or not. But the case here is to see what will you do to what you will
That,
do,
see,
which
but
will,
then see, you asked me what would I do, and what I would do would depend on certain factors.
and then what
So
you
you
will do
asked me
based
to
on the
answer,
answers that you
you're
have given
asking
to
me to
you.
answer, and then I can't answer it.
Okay,
It's like
people will judge for themselves. I am asking you this question. If I give you true or false, and you are saying maybe okay, whatever. I didn't ask. I asked you true or false. You see, I gave you these two options. I only gave you two options, true or false, and then now you are trying to bring you
you
an.
didn't give me true or false. You didn't give me true or
Of course, I
false.
gave you the true. Let me ask. Let me tell you the true or false. Will you report him or you will not report him? That is true or false. It's either yes or you not.
Oh my gosh. No, true or false is, did the person report him or not? That is true or false, because that's factual.
No, 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 no. That's not factual. That you can be. We don't know. Maybe what you can say. We don't know. I don't know. Maybe. No. Listen carefully, Kwabena. Now you are being disingenuous here. You are being disingenuous.
Seriously,
Okay. Okay. The question that I ask you. What?
I would report him.
Wait. The question that I ask you.
That's all.
The question that I ask you. What was my answer? What are the options that I gave you?
You said I can report or I can not or leave him.
Okay. So that's the only thing I gave you. So what is your answer? So this A and B question, what is your answer?
I don't know.
You see now? So it is true or false, but your answer is you don't know.
It's not true or false. It's not true or false.
Of course, for me.
You asked me my opinion, but you won't give me the information for me to.
I gave you the information. I gave you the information that you need to know. Yeah, but that is what you need to know. That is what you need to know.
To make a decision on this situation, I need more than just that.
No, but okay. Let's say okay. You are in a hall.
You're saying now. We're now in a stream world where these are your only two options. I don't live in that world, so I don't know how I would function in that world.
Kwabena, nobody lives in this. This is a hypothetical question. I wish nobody is. This is happening to nobody. It's not reality. Nobody. Are you living in the world? Are your children like this? No, my children.
I'm saying the world where there's only those two options without considering other factors.
It is possible. It is.
Would need to know how they can help their child.
Yes.
So let's say you go reporting for killing, and then the next day someone says to you, "Do you know what? If you had just spoken to him, or let's say read him the Bible, he would have changed." Wouldn't you say, "Oh, I would have taken that option"? Everybody needs to know the options available to them. You can't just provide two when there can be loads more.
Okay.
I'm asking is that, can I have the option of just doing all I can? If I do all I can and a child does not listen, and this is what you said last time, you do all you can and he doesn't listen, I said, yes, then I'll have to report it.
Yeah, but that is because of you bringing your own answers to the question. Let's say you are in an Kwabena, listen carefully, okay? Let's say you are in an exams room and you have no option. Okay. Let's say you are in an exams room and you get this on a sheet of paper. You have no other answer in it is either A or B. Listen carefully. Let me finish. Let me finish the statement. Please. Let me finish this. Okay, let me finish the statement because people are listening. Let me finish the answer. Let's say you are writing an exam, okay, and you have the only answer is A and B, okay, and then now the question is your child is killing children, your people, okay, and then you have the evidence to report him. If you don't, he will continue to kill people. Okay, over 10 people, and if you report him, he will die, he will be killed. Okay, will you choose A or will you choose B? Will you report him or you don't report him? And what is your answer?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't report him. So that means you are now supporting your child in killing 10 people, according to this statement.
No, I'm not. I don't support my child.
Of course.
You've given me a scenario. In that scenario,
yes,
I wouldn't have my child killed. Yes, in that scenario.
Yes, but you will watch your child kill 10 people because I gave you know that you will kill 10 people. You know it. It is scenario. Yes, it is
that scenario.
Yes.
In many cases, it's not realistic. But to
I know it is not realistic, but that, you see.
To give you an answer to your question, I'm going to say no, I wouldn't, because I can't see how I would do that.
But you can see how your child will kill 10 people and you watch it. I want an answer.
Like I said, I just don't believe that scenario is realistic.
Nobody believes it is real, and we all know it's not real. But you can be realistic.
You can have a child who's a serial killer. That is possible.
No. But you said it's not you just said it's not realistic.
The scenario you laid out is not realistic in terms of the only option a parent faces to make a decision.
I get the point. Okay, but now this is your.